Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy and excited to welcome you to the Delta Electronics live stream event, which is going to be about the exciting world of the new software platform called DIAStudio Smart Machine Suite. Please welcome Mr. Pere Arura, product manager based in Barcelona, Spain. Please go ahead, Pere.
Thank you very much, Monique. Thank you, everyone, to join us on this event. Let me give you our 5 cents regarding our new platform, DIAStudio. Delta Electronics' strong points are well known in the industry. Delta is known by offering good quality products for reasonable price and being loyal to that rule. Delta developed tens of product lines in order to reach the most diverse applications in the industry. As examples, we offer a huge range of inverters able to apply to many different range of applications, from elevator to cranes, servo systems, motion controllers, dedicated from packaging machinery or CNCs, power meters, Ethernet switches able to use for simple machine to energy plants, robots, PLCs, HMIs. But there is still one fundamental missing factor. In sports, you can have the best players in the world, best goalkeeper, best forward, best defense. But without a coach, you'll be in serious problem. In other words, without the glue that put all the different parts of the team work together, it's impossible to reach the real team potential. And that's the motivation behind DIAStudio. DIAStudio is the industrial automation engineering software that will level up product portfolio, giving a sense of unity and flexibility. With this tool, you're able to solve engineering problems from the engineer perspective. Let me give you a glimpse of what this tool can offer, responding to 4 questions. Why DIAStudio? What is DIAStudio? What DIAStudio, how DIAStudio works, and what DIAStudio can offer. Why DIAStudio? When you look at the market with engineer point of view, what you see is a big blue sea full of animals, all in different colors, shapes, which is fantastic. The problem is when you try to build up your own machine with a concrete specs, you don't know where to start. What PLC programming software I should use in order to standardize my machine portfolio? Or for example, which one of those 4 brands of 4 lines of 1.5 kilowatt inverter is the best for my application? How can I properly dimension my servo system to avoid torque and inertia problems at the commission stage? And this is the why. This is the reason for DIAStudio. Okay, and how it works? Very simple. We can define DIAStudio in 2 words: integration and simplicity. You pick up all Delta components and integrate them in one single field bus. In this case, Ethernet IP or EtherCAT in case of motion applications. And this is integration. And after we pick up all the current Delta softwares and blend them in one single simple tool. And that's simplicity. And how it works? DIAStudio is following the same mental process as an engineer will go through when it's time to design and build a new machine. First, you choose the right products and create a draft budget, DIASelector. Second, you interconnect, program, and configure your system, DIADesigner, DIAScreen. And last but not least, commission the full machine and be ready for in case of problems, DIACommission. With DIASelector, you can filter, compare all similar products of the same product range, and if necessary, reach product line brochure from there quickly and without any pain. And once the list is ready, you can keep it on your private free cloud storage and reach them with your smart devices. Just send it to the purchase manager or sales representative using a standard Excel file. That list of materials can be important to ePlan, making as simple as possible the machine documentation process. For programming part, the core, we offer free tools. First, DIAScreen, where you can program the human-machine interface on your machine using a powerful object-oriented software as Lua. DIADesigner, the core of our suite that can be used without getting out from the application to program, configure PLCs, servo drive, inverters, temperature controllers, and more to come. And with an extra tool that allows you to configure machine network configuration easily between all the elements. And for commission, DIACommission, and delivers the basic commissioning tools such as an oscilloscope, motion tracker, or PLC I/O status. And to avoid classic software version 10s, we implement the installer. These tools make sure that you have the latest software without having to do anything. And yes, you see it right. This is the Codesys software logo. Most of you already know that AX8, our PC-based motion controller that is 100% compatible with Codesys. From 2021, AX8 will expand its range with PLC-based motion controllers and logic PLCs, all of them based on Codesys programming software. And that's where DIAStudio meets Codesys, with DIADesigner iX, the twin platform of Codesys adapted to DIAStudio environment, with the same synergies with the other Delta components in DIADesigner. And what benefits, what DIAStudio can offer to you? Very simple. First, one single platform for all Delta products and one single interface. Automatic updates and free of charge for the basic version. User-friendly search and compare and select tool to make it easier for your budget or for your list of material, BOM material. PLC software compatible with IEC 61151, okay, and PLC open function blocks. Automated variable sharing between HMI and PLC to make it easier to integrate all the components of your machine. And as I said, total compatibility with Codesys version 3. But this is just the beginning. DIAStudio development will not stop here. Our concept idea when we start this project is to offer state-of-the-art engineering tool with a cutting-edge technology available. From that concept in mind, to integrate most Industry 4.0 communication standards and a few more. Ethernet IP, EtherCAT, Profinet, OPC UA, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, even our own cloud, call it, of course, DIACloud. Standard software integration as Codesys, as mentioned before. Key achievements like the recent acquisition by Delta team for the IEC 62443-4, which it talks how seriously Delta invests in cybersecurity and how all new products will have the flavor of this certification protocol in mind. Integration of robotics in our smart machine suite. Also safety elements to all our current hardware and blend them with safety PLC. And last but not least, our partnership with Microsoft, largest software company in the world and leader on Industry 4.0 industrial applications, which we plan to lean their expertise and release a bunch of software products for industry using, for example, artificial intelligence or edge computing. DIAStudio for Delta is not just the glue for all the Delta hardware components. It's also the first step to solution sales. And we would like everyone to be part of it. Because of this, we decide to offer this tool free of charge. In Delta, we strongly believe in technology is the key to solve actual world problems. And our duty as citizens and engineers is to share that technology and know-how. So please help us to spread the word and embrace DIAStudio by downloading to your computer today. Thank you. Justine?
Thank you, Pera. That is very interesting. Now let's welcome our product manager, Simone. Simone Orlandi is located in Italy. So during today's presentation, Simone is going to show us the DIASdesigner AX. Please join me in welcoming Simone.
Thank you, Justine. And hi, everyone. Nowadays, in industrial automation's world, working with a reliable software platform equipped with professional tools for programming, debugging, and commissioning is a fundamental requirement. Software engineers, as well as machine builders, need to use international standards in order to improve the software development process and to improve the software reusability. But at the same time, they need flexibility in order to fulfill the increasing demand of openness and IT integration. That's the reason why Delta has adopted the well-known software automation suite, Codesys, which is now integrated into DIAStudio environment. The name of this new powerful tool is DIADesigner AX. DIADesigner AX provides a lot of advantages for customers and developers. First of all, it meets international standards, like IEC 61131 for PLC programming and PLC Open for motion control programming. It's also a complete platform, a software platform for motion control, including drawing configuration, single axis and multi-axis movement, up to electronic cams, CNC, and robotics. Customers can also benefit from the other tools already included in DIAStudio AX, for example, the oscilloscope, which is very useful on the field, or a simulator, which allows to test the program without having a real target device, or from the thousands of function blocks and libraries that are included by default. Last but not least, the community. In fact, there is an extended and very active community of users, which is very active in preparing YouTube videos or in forums. And this form an alternative way to get technical support. So DIAStudio AX, together with the new AX series, supports many field bus technologies. For example, EtherCAT for the field devices like servo drives, inverters, or remote IO modules. Modbus and Ethernet IP for the connection with, for example, with third-party devices. Or, last but not least, OPC UA, which is one of the last trends in communication technology and makes this solution ready for Industry 4.0. But let's have a look at the software now. DIAStudio AX keeps the typical project tree structure where PLC programming, task configuration, hardware configuration are all available in the same environment. And that will dramatically reduce the learning time and make you able to develop a complete project from day one. However, Delta added some tools on top of codices. For example, the hardware and network configuration tools. By simply clicking on the hardware configuration, for example, and by clicking on the device scan button, the system will automatically detect the connected IO modules and will add them into the configuration. Then, by clicking on a specific module, you have access to all the other parameters. The axis configuration tool has been improved as well. So, for example, by clicking on an axis, you have access to the most important axis parameters like software limits, the mechanism, the number of pulses per revolution, and also the homing method. Everything is ready in a graphical way. Also, the compatibility with the other tools of DIAStudio is guaranteed as well. For example, by clicking on symbol configuration, you can select the variables that you want to share with the DIA screen, the software tool in DIAStudio to develop HMI pages, and make these variables available for the HMI program. So, in conclusion, DIAStudio AX, together with the other components of DIAStudio, is a big step forward for Delta in machine automation. And what I show you today is just a brief overview of its potential. So I kindly invite you to download the software from our website, play with it, and contact us for any question you may have. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you very much, Simone, for that insightful presentation. We would now like to pass you over to Mr. Mazen Suleiman, who is the head of sales in the MENA region. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the DIA selector tool. Mazen, please go ahead.
Thank you, Monique. DIA selector. Let's talk today about DIA selector. Choosing the right product to suit a specific application has always been a challenge for many suppliers and machine manufacturers. Delta Industrial Automation has many products that can be applied to different applications. In order to help you to choose the right product for a specific application, Delta has recently launched a new tool called DIA Selector, which is part of DIAStudio software. DIAStudio is designed for potential and existing user of Delta Industrial Automation product, such as field engineers and salespeople like myself. It will help you to select and configure from several industrial automation products to meet your application requirements and expectation to save your time. Let me now show you how to select and configure a PLC, for example, in less than 3 minutes. I'll share my screen. Okay, so basically, if we want to start a project, we go new project and we write down the name of the project. Let's say a packing machine, for example. Then we browse where we want to save it, for the region, and if you want to write any description, small description or brief about the project, then you click OK. Says this one, do you replace it? Yes, okay, so already created. Now, the project's already set up in project view, and you can click add. When you click add, it will show you the group name. So let's say hardware configuration, config. You can specify the industry if you want. You can specify the application. Let's say general purpose application. And the communication protocol, let's say everything except RS422. Then we click OK. So as you see here, it will give you many type of PLC because we choose, for example, the PLC. So if you have a roughly idea what type, how many inputs, outputs, you can filter those PLC and minimize the results. So let's say here, digital inputs, I need 1 to 12, digital outputs 1 to 12. I don't need any analog input and outputs. Resolution all, remote I/O support, let's say all, and I'm not sure about the rest, so we'll leave them as it is. Then, so here is, as you see here, it filters all the PLC and give me with a few selection. Let's say I just decided to use AS200. So I click in AS200 and it will be added to the list here. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, sorry. I selected AS300 and I have to pick what type of PLC I need from this series. So I have the 18PXA and I have a 18RXA. So if I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, so I go compare between both of them and then I hit compare. So in here, I will have another window which will highlight the difference between the first model and the second model. So as you see here, this one transistor, this one relay, this one normal pulse, this is not applicable. So let's say someone told you, okay, what about AS300? So you still can add AS300 for comparison. So we go in here, AS300, and here you can pick whatever model you want, and it will put it under the comparison view. So we decided to take AS300. So we add AS100 to the group, and you see here, there's a question mark, kinda, that there's something need more information like configuration or anything. So we go right click, you go for hardware configuration. And in here, it show you the PLC itself. So you go right click again and go configuration wizard. Let's say we need to have multiple remote IOs. So for example, here, digital inputs, digital outputs. I need to have here RTD, thermocouple. Next, 2RL can open, let's say Ethernet IP. Just pick random values. There we go, next. So here it will show you what components has been selected already. So if you're happy with everything after reviewing them, you go select and then finish. If you want to see how all the components will be connected together, you go to hardware configuration, and it will show you all the configuration together. Now, please note, this tool is not only limited for PLC selection. It can be used for other Delta industrial automation product. Simply add a new group, or if you want under the hardware configuration group, you can go to selection view and you can choose whatever you want. You have drive and power quality, you have motion, you have control, field devices, robot, industrial PC, and others. So let's pick a drive. So AC, we pick AC motor drives. So we'll show you here all the AC motor drives you have. And let's go, of course, you can still filter all these drives by motor capacities, how many watts, but let's go for something simple, MS300 series. So MS300, and we'll pick the one with built-in filter in here, and you add it to the group. And of course, you still can do the same thing. You can add accessories. So for example, the accessories we need here, industrial communication cable, it will give you multiple type of cables, depends on the size and the length. And of course, here you still can see even the photo of the accessory. You're happy with that, you go okay, and all here configure. We haven't finished yet. We still can view the bill of material for customer information. So you just click on bill of materials, you can see the whole project configured and everything. Another nice feature that when you are completely finished, you can save the project in your laptop if you are using your laptop as save or save as, different name, or remotely in the cloud by selecting save remote if you are using your mobile and you don't have a storage in your laptop, for example. Now, just to stop sharing. Okay, last to mention, it is a powerful tool for sales and representative, as you could be in a situation that you need to have a quick quotation and the customer is in a hurry. So you just take the information, you use your mobile, you can get everything configured in a few minutes. As my friend Simone said, try it, download it, play with it, and if you have any feedback or any suggestion, please email us. Thank you.